This video has kindly been sponsored by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is a meal kit subscription service that I have used quite a few times over the last couple of years, so I was really excited when they reached out to me. They were kind enough to send me a complimentary box, and they are also sponsoring this video as well. So HelloFresh enables you to select from a wide range of meals on their website, and they will then send you the individual specific ingredients for that particular meal. My favorite so far has been the king prawn green curry, so I will pop some footage and some photographs of that up. It's something that I really enjoyed. I also really like the hunter's chicken. I had that a few months ago, maybe about a year ago now, but that was a really tasty meal as well. I really like that you are only given the portion specifically for that meal, so I feel as though I waste far less when I go through HelloFresh, especially when it comes to ingredients that I won't really use for other meals. I also like the amazing range of meals available. I feel like it helps me when I'm a little bit bored or a little bit stuck in a rut when it comes to my food choices. It gives me a little bit of a boost and a little bit of inspiration to kind of experiment a little bit more in the kitchen. You can customize your delivery from week to week as well to meet your particular lifestyle needs. So one week you could select meals that are strictly vegetarian, another week you could select meals which are classed as quick and easy. It really allows you to adjust your particular lifestyle to your dietary needs as well. They also adjust their meals for the seasons, which again is something I really enjoy, especially as we are going into fall and winter. It just gives me a little bit more of a choice of kind of wholesome, filling meals. I will pop a link in the description bar with more information. I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you for watching. Hi, sweetie. How are you doing today? You're okay. You're just a little bit nervous. Okay. Totally to be expected. Okay. Don't worry about it. We do have quite a long while before you go into your interview. So I will try and make you feel as zen and as calm-like as possible for when you go out there, okay? No, totally normal to feel it. We have politicians in here, we have actors, actresses, sports personalities. Every single one says that they feel a little bit nervous before they go out there. So completely normal. Don't worry about it, okay? Yeah. So I can see that you have your cup of tea. Would you like a top up of that? Are you okay? You're okay. Perfect. Okay. So my name is Isla and I will be styling you today, okay? Have you done anything like this before? Have you had any kind of styling consults, any wardrobe analysis? No? Okay, not to worry. That's okay. That's absolutely fine. Sometimes it does help if you've never had anything like this done before, because it can be really exciting for me to kind of introduce you to a few new concepts. So absolutely wonderful. That's okay. So what I do like to start with is by popping you into one of the Kibbe categories. I don't know whether you've heard anything about the Kibbe system or the Kibbe categories. No, again, nothing to worry about. Don't worry at all. So essentially the Kibbe body types are a mixture of different style types based on how much yin and how much yang you have. So there are 5 categories. So we have classics, romantics, naturals, gamines, and dramatics. So if we imagine a scale of yin and yang on either side, Yin is very soft, very voluptuous, tend to have full facial features, big eyes, big lips, and a little bit less defined of a facial feature, okay? Whereas Yang, on the other hand, is very sharp, it's really well defined cheekbones, really strong vertical lines, and a very elongated appearance. So you will often see somebody who has a lot of yang. They will typically have very chiseled cheekbones and a very sharp jaw, okay? People will often say as well, if you're a little bit more yang, you tend to look taller than what you structurally are. So I do have a client and she's around 160 centimeters, but her lines are so strong and she has very angular facial features that people will often say to her, gosh, you look so much taller. And it's because she has a lot more of that yang. And she's someone who I will typically dress in V-necks and defined shoulder lines and tailored cuts as well. And those type of styles really bring out the best in her body type, in her essence, and also just allow her to feel a little bit more comfortable in herself as well. Okay. When we're typing as well, we also look at the lady's general essence as well. So with that particular client, she is very powerful, she's very sensual, so we do put her in the subcategory of being a soft dramatic. Okay, is it sort of making a little bit of sense? Yeah. Don't worry too much about the specifics of things, because as we go along, you'll maybe kind of just pick up a little bit more. And really, you don't need to know about the other body types as much as you do about your own. So as long as we sort of identify that, I wouldn't worry too much about the other body types. So really today I want to identify your specific type, and then really it's all about having fun with it, okay? So it's not a restrictive typing system at all. It really allows you to delve deeper into different fashion choices, different accessories, and just general styling, okay? I don't want you to view this as being very black and white or very this or that. You can, of course, if you really enjoy a particular style, but it's not recommended by Kibbe to be wearing it, it's absolutely fine. I would always say you can go and wear that. But a lot of people do say that they feel better when they are dressing according to their Kibbe style, okay? Always say to my clients as well, as much as you want to get compliments and you want other people, of course we all do, we're all human, we want other people to think we look good. I do say what I want you to feel is when you look in the mirror, I want you to feel that kind of, oh, I really look good today, okay? You know, that sort of feeling. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that's what we're aiming for, okay? Now, I do just want to show you before we start a quick visual representation of the yin and the yang when it comes to facial features, okay? Because I will be talking a lot about facial features today as well. We don't just focus on body, so anything neck down, we're focusing on you as a whole, okay? So I will just show you this. So this, of course, is yang, and then this is more yin. So we said before with yang, it's a little bit more sharper, a little bit more defined. And then with this, we said it's a little bit softer, okay? And then, of course, you have people in the middle as well. We're, of course, not on either end of the spectrum. We can be in between or somewhere in the middle as well. Okay, but I just did want to show you this because, as I said, I will be talking quite a bit about facial features during our session, okay? So I don't want you to think I'm just kind of throwing it out there at random. So we can see with these ladies, they do have a little bit more of an angle on their face, a little bit more of a kind of strong line when you're looking at them, as opposed to these ladies. Yeah, you can sort of see what I'm talking about. Beautiful. So you can see with this lady here, can you see the full cheeks? She's got full lips. It is. Yeah, so a little bit more. So I traditionally don't really say feminine and masculine, but yeah, a lot of stylists will say that the yin is a little bit more feminine, softer, more delicate. Absolutely, you're right there. But we can see these ladies are still very feminine in their own way. Of course, it's not that they're looking masculine. That's why I tend to avoid using that terminology. But no, absolutely, you're on the right lines there when you say that. And can you see these ladies? You can see they're sort of leaning a little bit more toward this way. Exactly, but they're somewhere more in the middle. Kind of like a nice mixture of the two. Okay, beautiful. All right, so I will pop that down. If I want to get it for a reference point afterwards, I'll pop it down again and we can kind of discuss it a little bit more. So to start, sweetie, what I'm going to do is just take a few of your measurements. I will then, if you're happy for me to do so, take a few photographs of you, okay? Yeah, is that all right? Perfect. I do like to provide all of my clients with a PDF and a printout booklet as well with detailed information pertaining to your specific type. And I do find that having photographs can really help me because I can kind of annotate them and just really kind of highlight features that maybe you haven't seen on yourself. So I think that's really useful. So no, you're absolutely fine as you are, don't worry. So you can stay there as of right now, that's absolutely okay. I do just need you to, however, if you could, I know you are wearing a vest underneath. Yeah, perfect. Would you be able to take the blouse off just so you're wearing the vest? Sometimes the blouse can kind of obscure your measurements a little bit, okay? All right. Yeah, perfect. You can pop it on the back of the chair there. That's absolutely fine. So I'm just going to sort of work around you. And if you could just, when I say, sort of raise your arms. Okay, beautiful. All right, sweetie. All right, sweetie, just lift your arms for me. Beautiful. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And lift your arm again for me. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And you can pop your arms down for me, thank you. So just around your waist now, sweetie. I get around the back there. I'm already pretty certain that I know your body type, even when I just within sort of 5 minutes of talking to you, of looking at you, I'm pretty certain I know what body type you're going to be, but of course I will keep it secret for now. All right, sweetie, if you can just sort of sit up a little bit straighter for me. Perfect. Just go around you there, sweetie. Thank you. Excuse me. I just found your neck there. Perfect. All right. And if you could just stand up for me, I will just measure your legs now. Okay, beautiful. Perfect. And just step a little bit to the side if you can. Sweet. Thank you. Beautiful. Okay. I haven't actually ever been professionally typed. I have self-typed. However, I do think it's difficult to self-type because we don't really see ourselves as we truly are. You kind of need somebody to look at you from different angles, to see you in motion, and really somebody who is completely neutral, because it's really difficult. I think not a lot of us see ourselves actually as we truly are. We tend to either kind of overestimate or underestimate our weight, or overestimate or underestimate the angularity of our body, of our facial structure. So you definitely do need, even if you work in the industry, just hold your arm up for me, thank you. Even if you do work in the industry, you do need somebody to professionally type you for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Sweetie, what I'm just going to do is just sweep your bangs away from your face, if that's okay. All right. Because I think that might be, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I think it's just giving a little bit of a false representation as to the fullness of your face. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Alrighty. So just going to go around your waist again. Okay, so if you could just stay stood up for me. Beautiful. And just raise your arms for me. Thank you. And I'm just going to go across your chest now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, and you can pop your arms down. Perfect. Let me see. Just going to do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 45. Okay. All right, sweetie, you can go ahead and take a seat. Now, let's see. I'm just going to sweep your hair to the side again. Okay. All right, so are you happy for me to just take some photographs? Yeah, beautiful. Okay. All right, sweetie. So what I'm going to do is just ask you to stand up, and I am going to take a few photographs of you from some different angles, okay? All right. Let me just go ahead and get my camera. Alrighty. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, beautiful. It's absolutely fine. What I would like you to do though is if you can just kind of space your hips a little bit further. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, just let me. Okay, yeah, beautiful. And okay, if you can lift your arms kind of out wide for me, beautiful. Okay, and you can pop your arms back down. And okay, what I want you to do now for me, just turn around, but just turn around slowly. So as you're turning, I am going to take photographs, okay? So very slowly if you can. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. Now from this angle, beautiful. Okay, sweetie, you can turn back towards me. I am just now going to take some photographs of your lovely face. Okay? Perfect. No, you can stay looking straight ahead. That's absolutely fine. Okay. And what I'd like you to do is just raise your chin. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. Okay, and pop your chin back down. Wonderful. Just from that angle. And from there. I'm just gonna do one from there. Okay. Okay, perfect. Now let me just have a look at these. You can sit back down, sweetie. Absolutely. Let me just go over these to just check. Yeah, so my lovely, you are without a shadow of a doubt, I'd say 100%, you are a romantic. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you why. So I did first think this when I saw you, because I would actually say you are a typical romantic, so you're not difficult to type at all. No. So First things first, you have a beautiful, full, voluptuous face, okay? Your lips are full, your face is very soft, it's very delicate, but it's very full. So again, if we were to go back to what you mentioned, very traditionally feminine, a lot of in your face, okay? A lot of people have a combination, like we talked about. Definitely would say with you, you are really far on the in end of the spectrum, okay? Particularly facially, okay? Now with your body, a little bit more tricky. You do have, am I okay just to kind of work around you? Yeah, so you do have, of course, a very full chest, which again would lean me more toward that than other types. But where I was a little bit thrown off is your shoulders, particularly on this section here, are a little bit wider than what you typically would be if you were romantic. However, the main thing with your body, and this again, as soon as I saw you, I was thinking 100% romantic. So what you have is this beautiful 8 shape. So again, you are kind of in here, okay? Then you cinch in quite significantly around your waist. But, and this is the distinction that I would make between a classic and a romantic, okay? Because I was leaning a little bit toward a classic at one particular point, but then I switched back to romantic, okay? And this is why. So you cinched in, and then with a classic, you would kind of go out a little bit, okay? But your proportions take you out a little bit more than we would expect with a classic. So again, you have that beautiful 8 shape. So you are out here, you then cinch in a lot. You have a very defined waist, and then you go back out. So if you can kind of look at me, I know it's difficult when I'm talking about you and there's no mirror, but if you look at me, so a little bit out here, but not very much. I cinch in and then I go a little bit out, but I don't have that wonderful 8 shape that you do, okay? So like I said, round here is very full, here is very defined, and then here on your thighs and your bum area, you are very full there as well. So you have, like I said, that perfect shape, which I would love to be a little bit more on that side of life, but you know, we work with what we have. But it is really beautiful, particularly here you can see, and that's what we really want to accentuate with clothing choices. Yeah, okay, let me just see what we can do, because I know you are wearing sort of loose fitting bottoms, aren't you? So I'm just thinking whether we could, I might just try and tie them a little bit just to let me see, have I got a tie? Yeah, so just gonna tie the back of your jogging bottoms, okay? Just because I think then if you look down, you'll almost see what I'm talking about with the shape. Okay. I usually do actually bring a mirror in. I'm not sure why I didn't bring it in, but I do think this will do a really good job. Okay, sweetie, so if you just stand up and just look down, yeah, can you see you're cinching and then you're going back out, and it's that beautiful shape that I talked about. And you can see it with, even though you're wearing loose fitting bottoms, when you tie them you can kind of see that shape, and it's wonderful. Absolutely fabulous. Okay, so yeah, you can go ahead and take a seat for me again. So what I want to do, sweetie, is just show you some visual representations of some celebrities with your body type as well, okay? I do find this quite helpful when you're looking at yourself as well, because it gives me an inclination as to whether you're viewing yourself as you really are, or whether you're maybe, like I said before, underestimating, overestimating weight, underestimating angularity, etc., etc. Okay? So these are typical traditional romantics. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, so you can kind of see that 8 shape there. Beautiful. I'm glad you're seeing it in other people now. That's really good. Nice to hear. You actually do, when I first saw you, remind me a little bit of Kate Winslet. So she has that really full face, and she has that beautiful kind of You can see with the shoulders, like I said, with your shoulders a little bit wider than typical for romantic, but you can see Kate Winslet has that kind of sloping shoulder as well there. Yeah, exactly. So these are really good clothing choices for romantics, absolutely. So these are examples of when they're dressing beautifully for their type, absolutely. Okay, so I do have some clothing choices, of course, today and for your interview. So let's have a look. Also show you some examples of clothing that might not be your best friend. But again, like I said before, if you want to wear them and you feel good in them, disregard the system. Okay, if it makes you feel happier, it makes you feel good in yourself, throw the system away. Okay, or just for that outfit, throw it away. All right, sweetie. So first of all, let me show you something that I had my eye on actually when I first saw you. So this is something that I think would work so well with your figure. And you can see it's kind of very dainty, it's floral, the material is very light, and these are all things that I would say work really well with romantics. And you can also see that you can see there's like a little bit of lace there as well, which again with romantics really work beautifully. It is a little bit floaty around your you can't really see where this would fit, but it doesn't come down to your lower waist. It kind of sits cropped a little bit. So it really does accentuate your waist. It doesn't kind of hang around here, which I would say wouldn't be flattering for you. But this is something that I think would look really beautiful. I would pair this for you with some these mom jeans. Okay, so you can see they are slightly high-waisted, but the combination of where this top fits with these jeans would look so beautiful. Okay, so that's one outfit that I think we should have you try on. The second, in fact, let me just quickly show you this actually. So this is something that I would advise against for a romantic, is this. So disregard the color because I know the color is probably speaking to you. It's gorgeous, isn't it? But it's very boho. Typically say to romantics, try and sort of steer away from boho. But what I most dislike about this for my romantics is it's just too bulky. So you can see there's so much kind of bulk around the shoulders. There's so much bulk around the arms as well, which as a romantic you just do not need. Okay. You can see here as well, this kind of bulky accessory. This is something no for you. Okay, yeah, so you wouldn't typically gravitate toward that anyway. Good. And you do tend to find that a lot of the time, the clothing choices that you're gravitating towards, you'll find are actually in your Kibbe body system. So yeah, it's definitely not a coincidence. Okay. Now, this would also work really well for you. So it's a high-waisted little dainty skirt. Again, high-waisted, check. It's floral, check. And it's also a very light material, so 3 checks, okay? Probably would suggest cinching it in a little bit more with a very thin waist belt. Typically with romantics, I wouldn't be advising any chunky belts because again, you want to kind of show off the waist. You want to accentuate the waist. You don't want to add any bulkiness to it. So I would say something like this with a really thin belt would look amazing for you. And then I would probably say to pair that with, let me see, something like this. Okay. Now, what I would probably do is crop this for you. You can, of course, tuck it in, but I think this cropped would look a little bit better. And I think that with the skirt and then a really thin belt would look beautiful. Now, let me show you. Now this would be an example of something I would say to avoid as a romantic. Again, a very kind of bulky. Yeah, you wouldn't gravitate toward this. Okay. I mean, it's a beautiful color. It's just very bulky. You can see the material, just feel it as well. Yeah, it's really heavy, really bulky. The shoulders, again, they're adding a little bit more kind of width to you, which you just don't need. And the pattern as well isn't something that I would advise for romantic. So it's a little bit shapeless as well. Would typically say to my romantics, try and work towards more of a kind of tailored fit, unless it's floaty. So if it's kind of dainty and floaty, it works. But if it's this kind of chunky and it's sort of hanging, it's not, you know, your body just doesn't need that. There's so many other better choices. What you could do as well is opt for something like this as the top and then wear high-waisted trousers. And again, we're cinching you in at the waist, but you're still kind of having that nice thin material. So we're not doing anything that's too bulky. And then, yeah, I'd probably say some high-waisted navy trousers with this, maybe with a belt matching the buttons on here as well would look really nice. So that's kind of a nice formal outfit choice for a romantic. Let me see. Let's have a look. So this would be something that you possibly could wear. So it's a sort of black boating dress. Now it does have a belt, so we can cinch you in. My only concern with this is the length of it, and I'm not too sure on the collar for romantics either. Because I said before, you do have a little bit more width to your shoulders. This may work more so than it would work on another romantic, but I would say kind of, you know, maybe take it or leave it. I wouldn't be as sure for that one. This is also something I think would work beautifully with high-waisted navy trousers as well. So it's this beautiful lace navy top. Of course, we would pop you in a vest underneath, but this is so beautiful for romantics because, again, you've got this beautiful dainty print. It's super feminine and it's super lightweight, and I just think this would look beautiful on you. I also think this color for you, I mean, I don't know whether you've been professionally typed in regards to your season. No, okay, not a problem. I would say you're probably leaning towards these types of colors, but you should go get typed because it's amazing. I had my season done a couple of months ago, and I feel like it's really transformed the way that I kind of view my clothing choices. So absolutely recommend that. We do actually have a lady here that does it. She rents a studio just down the garden, so you should check her out if you're interested in that. She is really good. Okay, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to kind of show you. So, you know, before I was talking about the chunky belts, yeah, so anything like this wouldn't really be gravitating toward that for you, okay? A little bit too chunky, it just doesn't kind of accentuate your waist. You want sort of like really nice thin belts, really dainty belts. I don't know if you've seen something like this would work really well as a belt on you. So you can see when it's just on its own and it's not doubled up, it's very thin, and you can then, if you wanted to, sort of tie it. I'll just show you, sweetie, because I know you have your jogging bottoms on, but you can still kind of get the same effect. There. Can you see how pretty that looks? It's so feminine and floaty. Yeah, perfect. Okay, we'll leave that there just for a moment. I wanted to just show you as well some accessories. Okay, so I do have some hair accessories. accessories as well. So these are kind of the things that I would be recommending to my romantics. So you have again these kind of ditzy little floral hair ties, and then of course little hair clip, little flower clips as well. So let me just show you. I love this for my romantics because it just really brings out that feminine essence, which I think is really nice. And then again, things like this, you can kind of just pop in your hair and have your hair to the side like that, and it just gives you that little bit of kind of extra femininity to your outfit, which I really like. Okay, all right. So what I suggest we do now, sweetie, is we get a top up for your tea, and then we get you changed into a few of the outfits, and then we can go from there with regard to your interview today. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let me grab your tea and I'll go get myself a top up as well.